Dr. Aisha this week wrote about a patient that she'd never forget. He was a guitarist. He grew up in the 60s. He loved music, but then he had a stroke on the left side of his brain. And where the grey area is was the site. And unfortunately, it knocked out all of his speech. That is the main speech centre, especially for males. This Broca's area handles speech production, and it was gone. He understood everything that was said, but he couldn't say anything back. Weeks passed and he sat there so frustrated, communicating with gestures, and he felt cut off from the words that he had used for a lifetime. One morning during the rounds, Dr. Aisha asked him, "Can you sing?" He looked at her and she started singing. He watched for a moment and then he joined in. "Don't be afraid, take a sad song and make it better." And he could sing the words. The resident stood in the hallway, that's the resident doctor, stood in the hallway absolutely stunned. This man who couldn't speak a word could sing. And in revisiting this, it was an inspiring reminder of the powerful cognitive benefits of listening and playing music. So I don't think any of our musicians today are going to get too much dementia. I've also had a similarly affected female. She couldn't speak, she was quite intelligent, she understood everything, and she had a stroke and couldn't move much of her right side. But the physios worked with her right arm and taught her to part sing, part chant, and she learnt to speak again. So they would raise her arm and say whatever word it was. And she regained speech by doing that. And here are a few more pictures of where your music areas are, deep in the brain. And we are so thankful to God that He wired our brains so amazingly well.